Basic tools and equipment. Introduction to the module. Tools are the most important items for a handy person. Each tool is precisely designed for a specific purpose. So a handy person must have a clear idea of the basic tools used in different sectors. Topics to be covered. Buying tools. Organizing the tools. Cement work tools. Electrical work tools. Plumbing tools. Painting supplies. Layout and measuring tools. Buying tools. You will need lots of tools, particularly when you are starting out. That means a major expense. Buying cheap tools is not recommended. Price is a reasonable measure of quality. The higher priced tools are almost always of higher quality than the cheaper ones. A hammer with a black painted head can drive nails just as well as a hammer with a chrome plated head that costs more. There are some brand names on a tool that assures quality, but many good quality tools have unfamiliar names or no names at all. Always check tools to be sure you know how to use them and be sure that they are working properly before taking them to a job. Organizing the tools. You should be able to see all of your commonly used tools at a glance, allowing you to quickly grab what you need, or think you might need, and get going. The best way to organize your tools is on pegboard. The bigger the area that you can occupy with a pegboard, the better. Choose a pegboard with 14-inch holes spaced 1 inch apart and a thickness of 1 by 4 inch. If you buy a white pegboard or painted white, it will make the area brighter and the tools easier to see. There are many varieties of pegboard hooks. Some are suitable for carrying screwdrivers, while others are ideal for hammers, shears, rolls of tape, and so on. Examine them and choose the ones that are most appropriate for your requirements. Purchase pegboard hooks that fit comfortably into the holes. While removing the tool from the hook, some hooks are loose and floppy in the socket, and the hook tends to slip out and land on the floor. Keep the most used equipment at chest or eye level. Grouping the tools. Keep all of the screwdrivers together, all the pliers together. You can keep less commonly used tools in drawers if you have a workbench with drawers. Large equipment, such as gardening tools, should be hung anywhere there is available space. Hang them high, with the handles facing down, to make more space on the floor. Cement work tools. The following tools are helpful when you do cement work, although you don't need to buy one unless you need that particular tool. Brick chisel. This is a large chisel that is used to cut bricks to length. Coal chisel. A heavy coal chisel and a heavy, 3-pound, hammer may be used to trim flagstones to scale. Edge rounding trowel. This is useful for fixing a curb or concrete stairs. Line making trowel. This trowel makes a groove about 12 inches deep and 14 inches wide in concrete after it has been poured but before it hardens. It is used for sidewalks. Plastic mixing tub. A 5-gallon bucket may be used to mix a small batch of cement, such as 2 quarts or less. A plastic mixing tub, on the other hand, is much simpler to use with larger batches because it is deep and shallow. Pointing trowel. Placing, or replacing, cement or mortar mix in the gaps between bricks or stones in a wall is known as pointing. This is where the pointing trowel comes in handy. It's just a strip of steel with 2 bends, typically around 58 inches high. Small triangular trowel. For small cement work, this is a necessary method. It's also compatible with roofing cement. You absolutely must have one. Purchase one with a 6 or 7-inch long blade. Smoothing trowel. This is a concrete smoothing trowel made of rectangular material. They come in all sizes. About 4 inches by 12 inches is a helpful size for most jobs. If a rougher surface is desired, a wooden trowel, called a float, is used for non-slip purposes. Spray bottle. Save a bottle from a window cleaner or another detergent. It's the perfect tool for dampening surfaces before patching with cement. You may want to apply a bonding agent to the water in the bottle in certain situations. In such cases, make sure to thoroughly rinse the bottle and spray the machine after use. Syringe. A syringe is made up of a rubber bulb and a plastic or metal tube and is also known as a turkey baster. It can be used to blow air into a hole or crack to clear out any loose debris before filling it with cement. It is also helpful in blowing debris out of corners of window sills after scraping and sanding and before painting. Electrical work tools. You should have a few specialized tools to do electrical work in addition to the usual screwdrivers and pliers. Electrical tester. This is a small neon bulb with two wire leads used to test for voltage. It lights up if there are approximately 75 or more volts present. Fish wire. Fish wire is a long, flat wire that is coiled and pushed through a hole in a wall or ceiling. The end of the fish wire is then attached to a phone wire or electrical wire, which is then pulled back through the hole. Fish wires are available in a variety of lengths. The 50-foot length is appropriate for residential work. Long drill bits. For wood and masonry, you should have a few long drill bits on hand. Drill bits that are 18 inches or longer may be required when running electrical wires, phone wires, or TV cables through walls or ceilings. A 14-inch hole is usually big enough for phone wires, and a 38-inch or 12-inch hole is usually big enough for electrical wires. Multi-tester. This instrument is also known as a multimeter. Volt-ohm milliammeter, or VOM. Voltage, resistance, and current are all measured with it. It is handy when you are trying to fix any electrical device. Outlet tester. This three-pronged device indicates whether an outlet is wired correctly or incorrectly. Carry it in your toolbox. Stud finder. This creative, low-cost electronic system locates studs. It fits well on drywall walls but not so much on plaster and lath. Wire stripper. The wire stripper resembles a tiny pair of thin, flat pliers. It has two sharpened V-shaped notches for cutting through wire insulation. You then slide the cut piece of insulation off the end of the wire. Plumbing tools. Here, listed alphabetically, are the most valuable tools for plumbing work. Basin wrench. The basin wrench is a carefully designed method for tightening or loosening the water supply lines behind wash basins or sinks. Closet auger. An auger is a long, coiled wire that looks like a spring. A closet auger is a drill with a unique design that is used to unclog toilets. Drain augers. Drain augers, sometimes called snakes, are used to dislodge whatever may be clogging up a drain. They look like spiral wound steel springs. If you have one drain auger that is 10 feet long and another 25 feet long, they will take care of most clogged drains. Handle puller. A handle puller is an inexpensive tool with two arms that hook under the handle and a long screw that you tighten to pull the handle off. Pipe wrenches. It is suggested to have 3 pipe wrenches, 6-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch. Plunger. This is the tried and true plumber's helper. You always try this tool first, and if it does not open up a clogged drain, you start with the drain augers. Painting supplies. Brushes. You should have a variety of paint brushes ranging in size from 12 inches to 4 inches tall. There's even a pound brush, which is a big round brush. If you're painting railings, fences, ornamental ironwork, or other delicate surfaces, it retains a lot of paint and saves you time. The pound brush's downside is that it takes a long time to clean after use. Drop clothes. Ask friends to save their old bed sheets for you to use as drop cloths. Paint splatters will be caught, but spills and large gobs of paint will not, so if possible, scatter plastic under the covers. Plastic drop cloths are cheap and easy to find. They're good for draping over furniture, but if you use them on the floor, any paint drops will appear to stay damp for a long time, and you'll have to be careful not to step on them and track paint all over your floor or rug. Extension handles. For your roller, you'll need a few extension handles of different lengths. These handles will eliminate the need for a ladder when painting ceilings and high walls. Telescoping handles that reach up to 16 feet or more are available. The threaded end of the extension handle screws into the roller handle. Paint tray. You will need a paint tray to hold the paint you apply to the roller. Some of these trays are made of non-stick plastic that allows you to peel off dried paint quickly, but the metal trays are fine. Layout and measuring tools. Layout refers to marking something, usually wood or sheet metal, preparatory to cutting, bending, or drilling. The following tools will take care of most of your layout and measuring needs. Bevel gauge. A bevel gauge is like a small square, but the angle of the square is adjustable. It is usually used to transfer an angle from an existing structure to something you are making that must fit that structure. Compass. The compass has one pointed leg and a pencil on the other leg. It is used to draw small circles and describe outlines from an edge to a surface. Dividers. A divider is used to scribe arcs or circles. It can also be used to transfer dimensions from one place to another and step off equal distances along a line or an arc. Drill gauge. A drill gauge is a flat piece of steel or plastic with holes ranging from 116 inches to 12 inches. It is used to determine the size of a drill bit by seeing which hole it fits into. Drywall square. This is a large square whose long arm is 4 feet long. In addition to its intended use for drywall work, it is also helpful for laying out plywood, paneling, and flooring patterns. Framing square. If you are building or fixing something small, you can use the tri-square you carry in your toolbox. For larger jobs, a framing square is much more accurate. A framing square is about 16 inches by 24 inches. Outside calipers. These calipers are used to determine the diameter of cylindrical objects such as dowels and pipes. Protractor. This is used for measuring angles. Speed square. This square has graduations on it, laying out angles for rafters and other members easy. Steel measuring tape. This should be 12 feet long or longer. Summary. This module can be summarized as: the best way to organize your tools is on a pegboard. Multi-tester is used to measure voltage, resistance, and current. A closet auger is a specially shaped drill used for unclogging toilets. The disadvantage of the pound brush is that it takes a long time to clean after use. Layout refers to marking something, usually wood or sheet metal, preparatory to cutting, bending, or drilling.